On WITY from Historic Farm Days, Penfield, Illinois, I'm Randy Daniels. So happy to be speaking with those good people from First Farmers Bank and Trust. Norman Lavengood, it is so nice to finally get a chance to meet you. I've heard your name a bunch, and they've told me what a wonderful person you are. You got a lot to live up to, man. Welcome to WITY.
Well, thank you, Randy. I'm glad to be here.
You are officially what with First Farmers Bank and Trust besides head honcho?
I'm the director of our commercial and ag lending at First Farmers.
All right, what are you smiling for, Rich Eisenmann? What's your title with First Farmers?
Oh, I'm the banker in Hoopston. I'd kind of like to go with that. I'm the banker.
So this was the short trip for you, and this was a longer trip for you, Norman.
Yes. Yeah, it took me about 3 hours.
Wow, you came a long way. What do you think of Historic Farm Days so far?
It's pretty impressive. I'm surprised the size and just the variety. It's really nice.
And, you know, so many years of agricultural history here. When you get a chance to meet anyone who's a member of the I&I Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Clubs, I'm sure you can attest to, Rich, you find out they have a real dedication to their beliefs, their loves, their desire for agriculture. And it's a lot like First Farmers Bank and Trust, is it not?
Oh, yeah, it is. You know, our agriculture is our background. It's been our history and our bread and butter, and it's what we feel like we know best.
And Rich, being there in Hoopston, well, you are right here in our neck of the woods. You really understand our concerns.
Well, I do, firsthand, as a matter of fact. And you know, coming down here, like you said, and meeting these folks gives everybody a chance to kind of be, you know, relaxed and in a fun, good mood. But the things that are happening in agriculture today are going to be a little harrowing here come this fall. And you know, we think here at First Farmers that we got opportunities that we can help farmers out.
A lot of farmers are worried about prices these days, and I know you have no control over grain prices and what's going on there, but that's got to be of great concern to you too, because your clientele is going to be affected by that.
Right. I mean, these prices have really tanked here lately, and we're below cost of production, and there's going to be some red ink on the paperwork here if things don't straighten up. So part of my job is to get in front of that, start meeting with my clientele and see where we are and what kind of plans we can make going forward.
And are there plans, Norman, that can be made by First Farmers Bank and Trust to really help producers when they're facing questionable times like we're in right now?
You know, the grain markets have always cycled, and they always will. And they come down, and they'll come back. And what we have to do is work with them just how to get through those cycles. And there's things we can do to help them weather the storms.
Something that has weathered the storm really well, the storm of time apparently, is right behind us here. Who wants to talk about this lovely Allis Chalmers vehicle behind us? Rich, Norman, I don't know who gets the challenge here. I'm going to step across the camera in front of you here because I want our ace photographer to be able to get some good pictures of that. Rich, tell me about this Allis Chalmers.
Well, this is owned by First Farmers Bank and Trust. This is my second year bringing it here. I brought it here last year. Remember, Allis Chalmers was the featured tractor here. So we brought it down here last year, brought it here again. It's been restored. It looks really nice, runs, everything's just like it should be on it. This year, they have the Oliver, and Norman here grew up on a farm, and that's what he cut his teeth on, driving Oliver tractors. So I've got two very vintage, sorry about that. Here with me today to celebrate this.
Oh boy, you obviously have a sense of humor.
Oh sure, you have to with Rich.
But Oliver's your brand, huh?
Oh yeah, I grew up with Oliver's and the Super 88 and the 1750, and so it's interesting to come back and see the Oliver's and look around, and brings back memories.
Well, pardon me while I cut back in front of the two of you again. I don't mean to do that, but I have to get back on this side so everybody can get a great shot of Norman and Rich with First Farmers Bank and Trust. Before I let the two of you go to enjoy more of Historic Farm Days here, are there any things that you would like people to know about First Farmers Bank and Trust, in particular what you and your staff in Hoopston can do?
You know what? Thank you, Randy. I do. We've got some deposit accounts that I think everyone should look at. You go to our website, FFBT.com. We've got some CDs that are paying in the 2s now. We're really competitive on that, and in some cases we're leading the charge on the deposit account side. As far as lending, I want to be everybody's banker, but we want to make sure we're doing the right thing for the people that we work with. So we like to do some sit-downs and farm visits, and I encourage anyone who wants to talk about things or get some new ideas, I'm always available.
And Norman, how about from yourself, from the Indiana side of the line and the powers that be at First Farmers Bank and Trust?
Well, it's enjoyable to be a banker today, because I remember the days when didn't feel like we had what I call all the tools in the toolbox. And today we've got a lot of different tools, and so there's a lot of things we can do. There's a lot of products and services to offer, and it's a fun time to be a banker to help our clients out.
Well, I think the two of you are more than just bankers. That's maybe your title by what you do as a profession, but with what you do for your clientele, your friends and neighbors as well as bankers. Thank you both so much. Norman Lavengood and Rich Eisenmann from First Farmers Bank and Trust with us here on WITY. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Historic Farm Days.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And you too, Rich.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate it.
On WITY, I'm Randy Daniels.